Welcome back, chummers. I am Mellowseven, and this is Shadowrun Returns. We have just completed our intrusion, I guess, of the Telestrian offices. We managed to get a sample out of the safe that we weren't supposed to have. But, of course, as soon as we came out, fine, Mr. Detective McCluskey was waiting outside for us. So we have been snatched up, arrested, I guess, hauled in, along those lines, for an interview. So let's continue on. The estate. From the floor of the Lone Star Cruiser, you watch the tops of the downtown corridor's office buildings disappear, replaced by the gray overcast over the I-90 bridge. Nylon restraints binding your wrists and ankles, along with McCluskey's whistling to the radio, make for an unpleasant ride. A half hour later, the cruiser hits a whisper-smooth patch of road, and a magnificent mansion fills your view. It's designed a blend of old-world finery and elvish grace. The car pulls to an abrupt halt, and you're dragged into the driveway where McCluskey pulls a nasty-looking knife and cuts your bonds. You look up to see you're surrounded by a squad of green-clad ghosts, special forces from Tir Tarngir. Massaging the feeling back into your numb extremities, you prepare to meet the man himself, James Telestrian III. All right. Well, should we start with McCluskey? Want some advice, Moran? Of course you don't. You're a Shadowrunner and you live by your own rules, don't you? I suggest you keep your smart-ass comments to yourself this time, human. Mr. Telestrian isn't some street meat you can impress or intimidate. He's the brains behind the throne of Tir Tarngir and one of the richest men in Seattle. And he holds your leash, right, McCluskey? You his lapdog? His eyes say, I'd love to kill you now, but his mouth continues to smirk. I got one of the richest, most powerful men in the Pacific Northwest taking care of me, dumbass. What do you got? Indigestion. You're dumber than I thought. Enjoy your chat. I'll dispose of your body later. Let's see what Mr. Quoth here has to say. Quoth the Raven. And he's dressed for the part. The fussy elf with the air of a Victorian butler studies you before he speaks. Doesn't like what he sees. Mr. Telestrian is expecting you. You will find him in his office. Thank you, Jeeves. He is not amused. Delighted to be of service. You may wait here for a few minutes to gather yourself before you enter Mr. Telestrian's office. Some people find they need time to prepare themselves before meeting an elf of his stature. However, the upstairs is off limits to you, and the library is occupied at the moment. Do not tarry, though. Mr. Telestrian is not one to be kept waiting long. All right. Well, I assume that's him. May as well look around really fast, at least see what it looks like. There's probably not much to see here. Although I guess we can talk to Algernon here. There's a twinkle in Algernon's eyes that wasn't there when you spoke at the Seamstresses Union. Good to see you again. There's much to do. You run some pretty different circles, don't you, Algernon? I do not run at all, Mellowseven. I go where I am needed. I am needed here. Seek me out after you've spoken to James Telestrian. Perhaps I can be of service again. All right, interesting. Upstairs is off limits. So we may as well go in and speak to the man himself. Those must be his elite ghosts. As you approach, James Telestrian III looks up from the computer screen built into the surface of his desk and assesses you. Calculating and cold. A practiced smile comes to his face. He vibes the kind of rich you don't get from the Trivid. It's not the clothing or the trappings or the bow before your better's mansion. It's something else. The feel that you're being categorized as a resource or a liability or a pawn. I've been reviewing the results of your visit to my Seattle office last night. I admit they are impressive. You have generated a considerable amount of damage to my office complex, killed or wounded many of my security personnel, and cost my vice president of security his job. In 24 hours, you have accumulated quite a bill with me, sir. How do you intend to settle your debt? Oh. If only I had that foreign, we'd take in corporate. No charisma for us. You already confiscated the container I took. I have no other bargaining chips. First, some instruction. You do not begin a negotiation by admitting that you have nothing from which to negotiate. However, you were considering your tactical situation. That tells me you are more than a mere street thug. Allow me to instruct you further. You have one piece of information which you might use as a bargaining chip in the little time you have left to live. Why you took what you took. I am interested to know why you and your team of criminals fought your way through my security teams up to my private office to access the Matrix and uncover the locations of a simple research project. It goes like this. Your half-brother, Sam Watts, hired me to find his killer. He had a dead man switch. When I find the killer, I get paid. Or, I took the Aegis sample to kill some giant insect spirits. Let's go with half-brother. You impress me, sir. My father's bastards are intentionally not well known, even to themselves. Nevertheless, I failed to see the connection between this Sam Watts' death and a raid on my office buildings. There's no connection between the research project and the dead man that I'm aware of. Sam was killed by your half-sister Jessica. Jessica is protected by giant bugs. Aegis kills giant bugs. Kill the bugs. Kill Jessica. Get paid. I find your bluntness somehow refreshing. He touches a button on the desk. Mr. Quoth, please ask my daughter to join us. The young pretty elf has dark circles under her eyes and a haunted expression on her face. She recognizes you instantly. It's you. You're the man who helped me escape from the Universal Brotherhood. How did you get here? Telestrian cuts in quickly. Thank you, Mary Louise. You have confirmed the identity of your rescuer and given me reason to forgive him his trespass against me. She looks hungry for your help. I'm glad you're here. You did well back there. Without you, we'd all be dead. Thank you, but I'm not sure that death wouldn't be better than this. I can't sleep at all. I'm afraid that this is a dream and that I'll wake up and still be there with the bugs. You can relax, Marie Louise. You're safe. It is over. No, it won't be over until they're dead. She shudders. You didn't see them. You don't understand. You and those men you flew in here, all you do is talk. It's just like you to form a committee, Father. I knew that someone had to take action. That's why I got Harkeem involved. The already cold exterior of James Telestri III turns to ice. I see. It was you and your crippled little friend who leaked Aegis to this man. We will speak of it later, in private. Now then, Mellowseven, there are people I wish you to meet. The committee my daughter alluded to. This is a rare opportunity for a man of the streets such as yourself. I urge you to behave. We will adjourn to the library. I'd be delighted. I don't know if that is sarcasm or not. Just behave. There is weight in Telestrian's library, a sense of magnitude and of purpose. You are no longer in the presence of mere wealth. You are in the presence of history. Shall we zoom in? We play most of this game zoomed way out, but it seems like this case... Again, we got a couple of the ghosts. You know, it might be an interesting actual Shadowrun campaign, you know, on pen and paper. You know, we almost always just play Shadowrunners, right? I mean, that's the idea. But to do something like, you know, like a military campaign or something like that with these guys. Might be an interesting tactics game, too. Lady and gentlemen, this is Mellowseven. He is the human who saved my daughter and the only one who has faced our common enemy in combat. Herr Brockhaus, what does the representative of the great dragon Lofir have to tell us about the magical insect this Shadowrunner uncovered? Brockhaus speaks slowly with a deep, melodious German accent. He takes time, accentuating each word, relishing each vowel and each consonant, tasting them as if they were a delicacy. My lord Lofir has witnessed the insect spirit's physical manifestation before, roughly 9,000 years ago. As you are aware, magic ebbs and flows from the earth, cycling from peak to peak over the course of 5,200 years. As the level of magic grows, Harlequin, Hans dear, I love you, but you could babble on forever, and I believe the time is of the essence. The painted elf addresses you. Mellowseven, is it? Delighted. The bug you fought was not merely a magically awakened animal like a wyvern or a hydra or anything else in the Sixth World. In fact, it isn't from this world at all. It's the physical embodiment of an insect spirit from another plane of existence. Man, etiquettes would be useful. Who the hell are you, and why are you dressed like that? I imagine that moving from one plane of existence to another isn't easy. I'll just say, is that why I couldn't kill it? Exactly so. Your little buggy friend exists on both planes simultaneously. Now, an insect spirit can't simply thumb a ride through astral space and show up on Earth late for dinner. dinner in this case being us. 2 elements are required to bring one across the void, a shaman and a host. First, the spirit calls upon a shaman, often in dreams. The spirit seduces the shaman with promises of great power. The shaman then accepts the spirit as his totem. Next, the insect spirit requires a suitable host. The best candidates are the disaffected and the disenfranchised. In short, the weak-willed. Their minds are the most susceptible to suggestion, which is helpful in making the transformation. As you imagine, these are the sort of people easily attracted to a cult, such as the Universal Brotherhood. Finally, by performing what has to be a truly disgusting ritual, the shaman serving the insect totem implants the spirit into the host, willingly or not. Then, it's feeding time. Harlequin is correct. The insect spirit will then slowly consume its host while transforming it into the spirit's own insectoid body, thus manifesting itself fully on this plane. What's this have to do with a great dragon, an elf who likes cosmetics? Whiz, bugs from another dimension need killing. I don't like the sound of this. We won't be a smartass for once. You shouldn't. It's bad. Really, really bad. The initial bugs prepare a nest for the summoning of a queen. Once a nest has its queen, she literally explodes with newly manifested insect spirits. They swarm out of the nest, feasting on all the flesh they can find and implanting more insect spirits into the fresh corpses, again and again and again. The room falls silent as they all consider the scenario, faces grim. Telestrian breaks the silence. This is not an infestation, Mellowseven. It is an invasion. My Lord Lofear knew this day would come, but he did not precisely know when or where. Your rescue of Mr. Telestrian's daughter has exposed the existence of an insect spirit for the first time in this cycle of the world. So why don't you just fire a cruise missile at the Brotherhood and call it a day? You half-engaged the enemy. You know why. The insect spirit is only a resident in the transformed host's body. Conventional weapons can hurt the body, won't expose the spirit, but the spirit itself exists on 2 planes. It cannot be destroyed by mundane means, hence Project Aegis. Herr Telestrian's biotechnology and agricultural divisions worked with my Lord Lofear's thermatological engineers and designed Project Aegis to destroy an insect spirit once it is released from its host. The formula, a fluorescing astral bacteria strain, exists in the physical and astral plane at once, and can thus affect the insect spirit. Now that was a mouthful. Did you memorize it, or are you just reading it off index cards? My director of R&D, Diane Ravenwood, will explain how Project Aegis will be used in the field. Dr. Ravenwood? I think Holly Berry will play her in the movie. Our weapons specialists have rapidly prototyped a delivery device for the fluorescing astrobacteria strain. They've created some prototype launchers which fire Aegis-filled shells. When fired, the shells will discharge a high-velocity stream of the bacteria. In order to destroy one of the bugs, it must first be damaged using conventional weapons or magic until the spirit is released from the host body. Then, the insect spirit must be shot with the Project Aegis prototype launcher to destroy it. So in order to stop an invasion of insects from another dimension, a dragon and an elf co-created a magical insecticide. Aegis is a multidimensional bug spray. It stomps bugs dead. Got it. We'll go multidimensional. Crudely put, but accurate. We must stop the Universal Brotherhood from summoning a queen, and we must stop them immediately. You are the only one who's been inside their facility, and the only one who's personally fought these creatures before. That, along with your highly effective assault on my property, indicates that you are the ideal person to lead the attack. Glad you're convinced, because I'm not. No one's ever used this magical bug juice before. The painted elf grins, and his red lipstick catches the light. We're foregoing the clinical trials in favor of field testing the formula. Come on, kid. When fate taps you on the shoulder, you gotta pay attention. Unfortunately, she has the nasty habit of tapping you on the opposite shoulder so that when you turn around, she's on the other side, giggling like a deranged schoolgirl. I hate that. Enough. Are you willing to undergo the mission, Mellowseven? You had me at killing bugs. I'm a professional. We'll go with that. Of course, here's my proposal. If you prevent the queen from being summoned to destroy the insects in the next, 1 million new yen will be divided by the surviving team members. Okay, I'm not greedy. I mean, a little bit, but 1 million. I just have to make sure the rest of the party dies. He claps his hands as if seeing the circus for the first time. I love the way the short-lived are willing to die even faster. It's very inspirational. There is one final note. A warning, if you will. You have seen the danger the insects represents, but you have not witnessed the shaman's power. The shaman must tap into a powerful source of magic in order to summon a queen. We do not know what abilities that power source will grant. Beware of the insects, but do not underestimate the shaman. Hey, don't scare the kid. Hansel? I don't think that was his name, but okay. Hey, don't scare the kid, Hansel. We need him to go on the mission. By the by, I'm coming with you, Mellowseven. I wouldn't mind seeing these creatures for myself. I missed them last time. Telestrian will bankroll you so you can hire the rest of the team. Find me when you're ready to go, and we'll bug right out of here. He sighs. Yes. Speak with Harlequin when you are ready to depart. If you wish to acquire additional supplies for your mission, find my assistant, Quoth. He is highly resourceful. All right, 8 more karma. Let's walk out the door. What does Algernon have to say? May I provide spell? No thanks, I'm good. What does Hans have? We do not allow any opportunities during a briefing for you to ask questions. You may ask them now. Where do the insect spirits come from? As the level of magic in the Sixth World grows, for lack of a better word, the distance between various planes of reality decreases. The main brain is thin enough. Yeah. Loafer saw this. Based on previous cycles, the first insects are not due to appear for another 700 years. Perhaps is due to the population of humans and metahumans on the Earth being so much higher than in previous ages as a result of the volume of magic. We don't know. That's essentially the... What's it like to serve the Great Dragon? Do not misconstrue my relationship with Lord Lofear. I do not serve. Ooh. Dragon probably would differ on that. Just saying. All right. I don't really have any good questions for him. None of that really seemed all that spectacular. Wer ist Quoth? Let's see what Marie-Louise has to say. I was listening. It sounds bad. Yep. Thank you for everything. Could be worse. Could be raining. It's Seattle. You look like you have a question. Yes, even after my father ruined his life and convinced me to hate him, he's still watching over me. My angel in cyberspace, Baron Samedi. After we escaped, I told Harkeem about the Brotherhood and about the bugs. It was his idea to steal Project Aegis so he could go into the Universal Brotherhood and exterminate the bugs. But I don't know how he knew about it. Baron Samedi just knows things. Why were you locked up? Father didn't approve of my boyfriend and tried to scare him off. Something went wrong and Harkeem ended up in a wheelchair. Father covered the whole thing up and lied to me about Harkeem. He told me horrible things, and I believed him. My Aunt Lynn told me the truth about Harkeem and how my father lied. She preyed upon my anger. I was so disgusted with him. It was easy for her to get me to leave and join her new family at the Universal Brotherhood. What did Lynn tell you about it? Aunt Lynn was very excited to have me there, almost manic. She talked about the inner circle and how I was going to be at center. She said I'd be their queen. The way she spoke, it was as if she'd seen God or something. But it's not God she sees. It's bugs. Only bugs. So what did Harkeem tell you about us? Nothing. I haven't spoken to him since last night. Why? He hasn't contacted you. No, I thought he would by now. Did something happen to him? Sure he's okay. He was in the Matrix the whole time. That's what I thought. Hakeem is amazing in the Matrix. I'm sure I'll hear from him soon. Yeah, I'm not as positive. Not as positive. All right. Let's see what we got going on here. In addition to the Aegis-loaded launchers we will provide, I'm authorized to outfit you with anything from weapons to supplies to clothing. Let's start with the outfit. I don't know how much people are going to cost. You know, 6,000 is about what, you know, it has been costing us. Spell casting. So nothing higher than we've got. We already have Agent Provocateur. So nothing new there. Gear. Weapons. I guess we roll down to shotguns. There was one better shotgun than what we had, right? Oh, there's a couple now. We have this one. Do we go up? I mean, this one only has a capacity of 5. Damage of 22. AoE of 6. What's the difference between the oh, this one has a smart link. Oh. Consumables. Let's get a grenade. And how about a med kit? We'll confirm that. Confirm. Cyber, let's see. Show me what you have. I'm kind of thinking of a smart link. Can we... Do we get one installed separately, or does it just, when we get the shotgun, it comes with it? I mean, we could do eyes. It's going to add 6% to hit. It's 1,000. You know what? I don't really think there's much here that we probably need, cost-wise. I think we're okay. I think we exit there. Show me the gear. Let's get the shotgun with the smart link. There we go. Confirm. All right. There it is. Okay. And again, like I say, I'm just not sure how much people will cost. So when we're ready, should we see what McCluskey has to say? You're gonna die, asshole. We're all gonna die, McCluskey. Yeah, but you're gonna die screaming. Okay. Probably right at this point. Probably right. Alright. Let's go see about this. Actually, I'm looking at the time. We're 23 minutes in. I think we end this one now. We come back with the final, I assume, episode as we go on to the final raid to kill the bugs. How about that? Thanks for watching, chummers. We'll see you next time. Comments, suggestions, critiques. I forgot my C's, whatever there. What is it? Concerns, critiques, criticisms. Put them in comments. There we go. Thumbs up if you liked it. Thumbs down if you hated it. Love to hear what you think of this series so far. And don't forget to subscribe if you'd like to see more. We'll see you next time, chummers.